Welcome to the Starnoize frequency. So, what's the difference between extrasensory perception and psychic? The thing that I've noticed over the years is that there's always this struggle to define these types of perceptions, partially because there's an insistence on I don't know, trying to pretend they don't exist or insisting that it doesn't exist because um, they're non physical. Like, not everything can be defined by physicality and logic. Those are extremely useful and important and critical functions. And so are intuitive, non physical things or perceptions. So, anyway, choosing between extrasensory perception, ESP, or what is known as ESP, and psychic, and there's another term that I kind of tend to like, um, which I'll mention later. Um, Defining between ESP and psychic depends largely on the context, really. Specific, like whether you're talking to somebody scientific, somebody spiritual, or just a casual conversation. Each carries distinct connotations and their own historical weight. All right, so ESP or extrasensory perception. It's best used for formal, technical, or research based contexts. Definition was coined by J.B. Rhine in the 1930s to categorize mental abilities like telepathy and clairvoyance as sixth senses, beyond known physical channels of sense. The connotation, it is generally viewed as a more modern and clinical term, while often it is labeled as a pseudoscience by mainstream science due to the lack of reproducible evidence as defined by them. And it remains a standard term in parapsychological research. The pro of ESP is it sounds a little bit more analytical and less I don't know, superstitious to analytical people or academics. Okay, so psychic. Psychic is best used for maybe a spiritual, historical, or interpersonal context. It's the word that I might easily or most easily just kind of throw out there because when you do, there's kind of a general feel, even though it may not be the best word. It has a general feel to it that people are going to kind of be like, oh yeah, I think I know where they're going to be going here with this. So it's best for spiritual, historical, or interpersonal context. Its definition is derived from the Greek word psyche, meaning soul or mind. It refers to the person exercising these abilities rather than just the phenomena itself. Mm. So maybe I should even be using the word differently than I do. Um, Connotation, it often carries a more mystical or even theatrical weight. It is frequently used when discussing access to non physical realms or spiritual entities like mediumship, which ESP may not always cover. The pros of this word are it directly addresses the soul or non physical aspect of the experience. Okay, now some other words that are helpful and useful and maybe won't trigger people as much. And I feel like, you know, may even be better words to use. Alternatives to saying ESP or psi is you could just say, I'm highly intuitive, or I'm talking about intuition. Many practitioners often prefer this term because it's less polarizing. It describes a natural sense of knowing that feels more grounded in human psychology, though it is often considered a free form or underdeveloped version of the psychic ability. The other word, and the one that I quite like, is psi, spelled PSI. In professional parapsychology, psi is the neutral umbrella term used to include both ESP, perception, and psychokinesis, mental influence. I still think that we have, a long ways to go, or, you know, a structural development to take place to define things like extrasensory perception, intuition, psionic abilities. And that's a part of why I've started this channel. And, um, I've been around for a while, and I want to share and express what I've experienced over the years. So, we're just getting started. Thank you for watching the first video of the Starnoize frequency. See you in the next one.